process of having accreditation also for having masters and PhD in resilience economy and inspiration economy. So we are in this process, and we are now in phase 2, or we are also building another house which will support SIAS for that. So for masters we will have 20 students, and PhD we will have 10 students. And in terms of other projects we do social for profit project. We start with mostly 1.5 million. We give this money to NGOs and projects of cooperatives, so that they can start up some few activities which can help them to develop. So in that framework, so far we have financed one cooperative called Tonyere Mukamo from Guamagana. And we have also financed another project from Musanze of farmers who do Irish potatoes production. So far, so good. Yeah. In Guamagana, we want to help them to create a small industry of maize flour, kaunga, but they are still in the process of reselling and producing maize and the food for animals, especially cows. They work with rab, and they have another project of avocados, those has avocados. They plant them and they sell them. Yeah, with Naib, and we have helped them also. So we are not the only partners with them. They are already partnering with another NGO called Réseau Sangwa. Réseau Sangwa, we have MOU with them, and those are the ones who networked with us with them. Yeah. So far, we have only 2 projects, but we are visioning or aiming at creating another project with Rappel. Some of you know DJ Brian, and also Koporwa. That's the Potas community group. We want to upgrade their products so that they can sell at a good price. So we are waiting now the project from Koporwa and also the project from Rappel and other NGOs that we will finance. But our approach in financing is not just giving money as it was used to be. We do just microfinancing and teach them self-sufficiency, to create solutions to their problems. As you know, 2 million or 1.5 million cannot solve the problem. But we teach them the mindset change. Mindset change. Because addressing the issues of poverty, we found that poverty cannot be solved by only money. It has to be solved by the mind. And what we call resilience. Yeah. Resilience. That is why I want to open up masters for resilience economy and inspiration economy. Because most of the people who lag behind are stuck here on resilience. You start a house, you feel you cannot complete it, you abandon it. Yes. You start to work with a little business, for instance, avocado reselling. You find it is very warm and very sunny, you abandon your project. Or you start up school, your mother and father don't wish it, they divorce, you feel you are trapped by that conflict, and you abandon it. So resilience equips you to keep on, despite the difficulties. Yeah. And in Rwanda, of course, we are lucky because the government of Rwanda also is also trying to teach resilience in the front ends. Udahera. Nikinya? So when we talk about Udahera or resilience, it's just to thrive despite the difficulties. You try to thrive. You try to blossom amid storms. Here there are storms, hard rocks, but still you thrive and you give fruits. Rwandan society also have met a lot of difficulties, including the genocide against Tutsi. We have had a lot of social crisis since independence, until recent, of course. But still, Rwandans are thriving. We are thriving. Of course, we are still at the bottom. Our GDP per capita is 1,000, I think. Right now, GDP per capita, only 1,000. I think other countries are now thriving more than us, including Botswana, including Ghana, including Nigeria also, including Kenya, Tanzania. But we will thrive because the pace of us also is high. And that is the pace of economic thriving. We started in 1995 almost by 150 US dollars. Yeah. 150 US dollars. At least now we have 1,000, but we're still at the lowest. The countries like Qatar, for instance, welcome. The countries like Qatar have 70 now, I think. 1,000 US dollars per person, per individual person. The country like Qatar has reached the level whereby they say every citizen have to have enough food. Yeah, even if you work for government, they give you 100 kilos of rice per month. They say, okay, you have to eat first. Because you cannot develop empty stomach. And that is why today we have to meet again and see what are our social problems in the framework of Africa Development Lab. How can we predict the outcome of those social problems, socioeconomic problems? Because you cannot always sit down. We cannot sit down if we see people starving, having shortage of food. The government cannot sit down. They are still working day and night. But also at your level, your community level, household level, you have to think of that. How can we ease the lives of ourselves and ease the lives of others? But this is a mindset, because Africa is very rich naturally. We have a lot of minerals. We will discuss about that. We have a lot of oil. Look at what is the price of oil here. Gas, I mean gas. I think a liter of gas is 1,700, I think. Yeah. This is too much money. But Uganda has oil near us. Kenya does. Chad does. But how come that we don't have enough gas while Africa produces a lot of gas? Those are the issues that are structural. We cannot handle them immediately as an NGO or institution, but we can talk about it and see maybe how we can solve the problems. So when we talk about these feelings, how do we develop amid problems? That's resilience. Resilience. And when we talk about resilience, of course, here we are talking about trying to thrive despite the difficulties. Despite the difficulties. Yeah. So, without delaying, we are going to have a session of self-introduction. Yeah? Lisa, yeah. I think you can start, get ready with presentation and let the other guests. Yeah. You may have a seat and we can there. Yeah. So, when we talk about resilience economy, inspiration economy, we want, as Africans, for our African development, to discuss the framework we can develop. Other nations also were poor. Qatar was poor in the 1960s. China was very poor in the 1960s. Actually, China was getting food from Africa. You get the point? China was getting food from Cameroon, from Africa, from elsewhere. Food from Africa. But China now has produced a lot of advantage and opportunities for Africans. But why should we stay poor while other countries are becoming very rich? Here is the money that Chinese person could earn in 1960s. You know, by this time, DRC was earning $15,000. DRC, Congo, was like 5 times ahead of China. Yeah. But Congolese opted for crisis. Yes. In 1973, President Mobutu have nationalized every investment from abroad, from Europe. He nationalized it. Nationalization, do you get what it means? Taking by force. That is a nationalization. It's like maybe you open a business in the house there, and a person comes, a reader comes, you say, go away, this is no longer you. That is what we call grabbing. An investor needs stability. An investor needs something stable. And that is why in our country, of course, an investor has to be protected. Protection of real estate. Africans used to work by themselves at national level, even at tribal level or local. This cannot develop Africans. But we have to change your mind and change ourselves. I'm lucky because I lived in different societies. I lived in many societies. I lived in China for 3 months. I lived in Belgium for 1 year. This is where I did my master's in governance and development. I lived in France for 1 week, Netherlands for another week, Germany for 3 years. That is where I did PhD. I lived in America 1 month. Yeah. I lived in Tanzania 1 month, in Uganda for some few months. So it means that I have seen the world, but you cannot develop alone if you don't accept diversity, cooperation, unity, reconciliation, working together. You can never develop alone. Never. Your child will need a teacher, will need a nurse, will need a doctor, will need someone to sell him clothes. And this is a network or social capital. You will reach a period when you don't have money, and then you have to borrow from Muhirwa, for instance, someone. Yeah, that's social capital. And if you don't have a market nearby you, where will you have food from? Yeah. That is what you call decentralization. Decentralization doesn't mean only to come near the citizen, but also to bring infrastructure near the citizen. market, hospitals, and whatever. And that is where governance meet with development. If you don't have a place to buy internet, when you want to go to Irembo, where will you get papers? But you need someone to establish mobile money near your house so that you get a service nearby. That is also economic decentralization. So when we talk about mindset change here, we think people have to think rationally in order to develop. In order to develop. I will, after I introduce this, and after I introduce Foresight, I will need the introduction of ourselves. Starting, I think Bonnie introduced herself.
No.
You can say your name now.
Yes.
We're allowed, yeah? Because of gender balance, before women were not allowed to speak in public. But please proceed.
Yes. That was attacking us women, but
no, that's empowering.
Yes, but thank you. My name is Kamikaze Boni. I am an assistant researcher here at CS Institution. And as well as you can see, I'm the camera woman here. So I'm delighted to have you all here.
Yeah.
Please feel free and let the workshop feel engagement, put your insights and everything. Thank you.
Yes, let's have Isa also introducing himself.
Thank you. My name is Isa. I am partner and colleague of this Dr. Emmanuel and Bonnie.
Yes.
I'm project coordinator at the Business Institute. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And myself, I will introduce myself after you introduce yourself. We start by the back side. Huh?
Thank you. My name is
Thank you very much, Claudine. Yes.
Good morning. My name is Justin Wima. I have been attending as my meeting.
Thank you. Sometimes you say, oh, you come from your background. Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah.
My name is Lilian Abesi.
Yeah.
I'm a student from the University of Ghana.
Hmm? And the background of Franta, the environment expert, yeah? You do research on environment, right? And
A student at the University of Ghana. So,
yeah, which campus? Which field you study?
crop production,
Crop production, agriculture. You? Governance.
former student of UALA University of Rwanda, Master in Business Studies.
Environment studies, okay. And yes, brother?
my name is Omar Christian. I'm also a student of URA campus. I'm an electrical engineer, and I'm also from Tripras, Rwanda.
Triplas, right. Can you explain on Triplas? What is Triplas?
Rwanda is NGO who is best to help those who have abandoned schools, girls, or women who have early birth, and who have an HIV.
HIV, yes.
What we are doing right now.
Yeah, they are also partner with us. You have a more. Yes, sir, please.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm Dr. Geoffrey Anshaja, and I'm the project manager for a project called UFI. UFI is Urban Fabric Initiative, and other year that working with the state of Chicago in a very informal settlement upgrading project.
Okay.
When I saw the invitation, I didn't know that this kind of platform exists.
Oh, good.
I picked interest to understand. It's more or less like the Center for Development in Society.
Yes,
When
yes.
I looked at the concept, I picked interest to come
Yes.
and visit and try to understand what it's all about.
Yeah.
And I'm very impressed that most of the students are here.
Yes, also. Yeah.
Which is a chance to have.
Sometimes we receive even international students from Sudan, from Ghana, from yeah.
My PhD is in economics.
Economics.
Land economics.
Okay. We look forward to the partnership.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ivan Kizi. I'm from University of Rwanda, Meridian campus. I'm doing transportation engineering, and I'm also representing Rwanda here. The Rwanda.
La Perle.
Yeah.
Yes, welcome. La Perle is the other NGO I was talking about. They look forward for street children, and they are partners with us.